Hi, my name's Caitlin Shirley, and I'm the Business Development Manager for Mississippi Polymer Institute.
I'm Monica Tisack. I'm the Executive Director for the Mississippi Polymer Institute and the Innovation and Commercialization Park here in Hattiesburg, Mississippi.
Hi, I'm Robbie McDonald. I'm the Entrepreneurial Program Manager here at MPI.
All right, excellent. I appreciate you all being here. I'm excited to talk to you. Caitlin, let's kick it off with you. Tell us about your organization and the region that you serve there.
Absolutely. So we're with Mississippi Polymer Institute. We are the industrial outreach arm for the University of Southern Mississippi. So of course we have special interest in companies that are here in the Pine Belt and around the Hattiesburg, Mississippi region. But with that being said, because our expertise does lend itself specifically to physical products, we do work with companies that are all around the state as well as companies that are international. So we're not really only interested in Pine Belt companies, but of course we do have a special interest in those companies.
That's great news for people that are not in the Pine Belt, for sure. Monica, can you tell us what makes your area unique?
Sure. So we have a rich history in polymer science, and so as such, as the Mississippi Polymer Institute, we have a very interesting ability to synthesize and make materials, as well as test them to ISO standards, as well as evaluate them in applications. So the subject matter in general is very important, but we also have a facility here which is 60,000 square feet, which is able to be rented out certain laboratory space for development of a company's materials and products, as well as even selling them. And then we're located about 5 miles off the main campus on 500 acres that USM has, locally known as the Garden or the Innovation and Commercialization Park. And that's someplace that if you came to MPI and used our services, then you grew and you leased a space in our building. Then you grew even beyond that. You could long-term lease or buy property around us and build right here.
Yeah, that does make unique. That is excellent. And that is such a great resource to have here. And I'm sure there are a lot of people that don't know that is available to them. So thank you so much for sharing that. Robbie, tell us, are there certain types of founders that you are looking for or you most often work with?
Yeah, so Caitlin can talk to more of the scientific aspect of the founders that we work with on a day-to-day basis. We're here to serve as a great resource for everyone, regardless if they're a technical founder or not. So my door is always open for founders who are just looking for help with their startup business. Maybe that might be just a connection with maybe someone at Innovate or some of our other regional partners who just have a specific need that maybe we can't fulfill at the Accelerator, but we are happy to help connect them with someone that can specifically aid in what they need.
Okay, let's follow up to that. And then maybe you can also just jump on how you help companies move from that early stage when they first come to you and how you stand by them along the way and help them through the growth.
So we do tend to see a lot of entrepreneurs, obviously all around the state, but the ones that we help with on more of a day-to-day basis are the ones that are making physical products, whether that's a coating or it could be an actual like plastic or polymer product, or it could be a paint. It could be anything that's really related to a physical product. And because we see those types of projects, that's what we're going to be doing, like physical testing. We can see all sorts of different physical properties of materials. We can make prototypes for people, and really anything that somebody needs tested or needs some sort of development work related to physical or chemical products, we're most likely to work on those. And if it falls outside of that realm, then we'll find the right partner for them to work with.
Also, Monica, do you have anything you want to add?
Yeah, so we have had people that walk through our door who classically have the garage idea and they haven't actually taken it to the next step. So Robbie's done a good job creating a system and a process to walk people through the steps as simple as how do I create my LLC? Or I don't know how to start. I think this is patentable, but I don't know how to go about that. So there's a lot of background information that we can help people with so they have that one next step, all the way to an established company that has a problem with their product and they need that resolved, or maybe they have a manufacturing process that they want improved. Those are all aspects of how we can help people and what types of people come to us. So anybody from an individual inventor to an entrepreneur to a startup to an established commercial person who's maybe solving problems or growing into a different space, and that's a startup mentality that they're using. So we have a variety of different people and organizations that we help on a daily basis.
So my next question is the success story, which is going back to Caitlin. So Caitlin, can you share a success story or just a highlight of something that you felt really impacted your work?
Yeah, absolutely. So I can think of a particular success story that rolls in testing, product development, as well as the leasable space here in our facility, which would be Chromis Technologies. They were a small polymer manufacturing company that was scaling up when we learned about them in 2018. And they were based in New Jersey. And since then, we started doing testing projects with them. We did some materials development, some synthesis type work with them. And through that relationship, as it morphed over the years, they saw the workforce that was coming out of the university. They saw the opportunities for business that were here in the state. And since then, they have moved their manufacturing operations down here to the Accelerator. So they're one of our tenants. We still do testing for them, and we still help them with some development work as needed as it comes across. So that would probably be our biggest success story.
Yeah, definitely. That's a success. Recruiting people to Mississippi from New Jersey. So anywhere, really, it's a success. I'm sure they appreciate the winters. I want to hear about your monthly Connect event and how you're bringing everybody together each month and how that impacts the ecosystem and the Polymer Institute.
Yeah, so these Connect events they're what you make of it. So these are opportunities for these founders to really get to know each other within the ecosystem, as well as any service providers, investors, anybody who wants to show up to these events. We want to help facilitate that connection in the Connect. So every month we're trying to expand, we're trying to get bigger, we're trying to figure out who else we can ask about the event and continue to grow the ecosystem within Hattiesburg. So these are really great opportunities for these people to get one-on-one help with people, either with service providers like us or a bank or with a financier somewhere. But we found that entrepreneurs, they really hive mind and they solve each other's problems very easily. If someone's trying to figure out, okay, I don't know who to go to for a bank loan, another entrepreneur might easily say, oh, I've gone through 5 different people and this person's the best. So they help. That collaborative effort is what we've been trying to inspire through these events. And obviously there's more successful ones than others, but we're always continuously trying to break new ground, break further into the ecosystem, and really continue to grow and form those bonds.
Tell me how important a statewide connected ecosystem is for a place like Mississippi.
Yeah, I'll take that. I think it's huge because just like we have unique strengths and characteristics, other partners within the state do as well. For example, you might have a polymer product that's a medical device that you want us to help you with at the initial stage. But then when it comes to a manufacturing growth space, maybe you want to have some AI or robotics and manufacturing layout work done. We're going to reach to the Mississippi State people who do this on a daily basis as well and bring them in or send the client to them to get the really highest quality work done. Likewise, there's shining spots in all parts of the state. So that interconnectivity and working together, I think we all feel Mississippi needs to win here, and we need to grow our ecosystem even more and better. And we benefit from understanding what everybody's strengths are so that we can have the whole package together so those startups can move faster, make more money, and make a bigger splash and impact on society.
I know, Monica, you and Caitlin both have been in the Co-Builders Accelerator, and I'd just like to know a little bit of your experience on that side of things and how it felt and how you use that information you gained in that and can become a better teacher or leader through those journeys.
Sure, I'll give you my personal input, then I'll turn it over to Caitlin for her. Personally, it's very different when you're mentoring companies to go through co-builders. You listen in on the meetings and the recordings and the teachings. It's very different when you have to do it as the company, the startup. I've been around the growth areas my entire career in the chemical industry, and so I know a lot. However, I did learn a few things in this co-builders path that I did not know before. So until you are actually having to do the homework, going through and being critiqued and adjusted when necessary, it's very different. So when you come out of that, then it makes you a much better mentor for the companies that may or may not even go through co-builders, so that you can give them a very accurate step-by-step plan and basically be a support system for them on topics that are key in the co-builders program. Caitlin, what do you think?
I totally agree with all those points. When we're here in the lab, we're generally on a very technical mindset. You keep your nose to the grindstone, you're thinking about the science behind things, and sometimes you can get a little bit lost on the rest of it, the financials, the different aspects of actually running a business that it really takes. So being able to see it from the many different perspectives than what I had been thinking of it in previously was very helpful. It helps you put yourself into the shoes of the other entrepreneurs that are going to be going through this, because it is a lot of work and it's going to be a lot of disparate topics that you probably are not an expert in. In fact, you really can't be an expert in everything. So it was very valuable to be able to get out of just that technical mindset, get into the mindset of an entrepreneur and really help them through their co-builders process and the rest of their entrepreneurial issues and journey.
Yeah, I can imagine creating your own business is really hard work. So it's excellent that there's all these resources here in Mississippi. And I know that MPI is such a big one. And so we appreciate you. Innovate appreciates you. I'm sure all of Mississippi appreciates you and the mentors that you serve. Is there anything else anybody wants to add? Something we didn't cover?
I just want to say thank you to Innovate Mississippi. They have really expanded this program. We started this 5 years ago, and our local ecosystem has really grown every year. We are actively pursuing continued growth. So they are giving us opportunities to help and grow startups and entrepreneurs that we've never had before. So thank you very much.